$50,000. It was a government job, so it cost $50,000. I can't imagine just some steel wire and things like that costing that much money, but it was a government job. So, but believe it or not, it had never been used in a mine rescue until 2002. And it has not been used since 2002 in a mine rescue. Although we were very close to leaving for South America for the Chilean mine rescue, we're coming up very close now. I think we just passed the 2-year anniversary of those 33 men in Chile that were rescued. We were talking with the rescue site in Chile daily, sometimes several times a day, checking on their progress, and we were on a 3-hour call to leave for South America with the capsule should they need it. But because we gave them photographs and the dimensions, and they had some very skilled NASA engineers on site in Chile, they were able to build their own capsule specific for that rescue, and they called it the Phoenix capsule. And it was very similar. In fact, it was exactly the same diameter as this capsule, 22 inches, but it was about 3 feet taller because it had some 21st century technology on board it. And what I mean by that was underneath the compartment for the miner to stand, they had onboard oxygen. They also had Wi-Fi, wireless communications, both audio and visual communications with the surface in the top of the unit. So that capsule is about 13 feet tall. It's now housed in the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C., and we were invited down by the Chilean government for that unveiling just about a year ago, and it was kind of neat to see that capsule. But because we did not have to take the capsule to South America for that rescue, they released us just a few hours before they started bringing the men up. We were able to take the capsule and drive all night to New York City, and we were live on the Today Show with the capsule from Rockefeller Plaza. And we were also then, while we were in New York City, when the Today Show began to air, every other news agency, I think, in the New York City area called us, MSNBC, Fox and Friends, Geraldo, Deborah Moorville. Yeah, I've been on Geraldo twice. And I don't brag about that.
You didn't know him before that.
It was kind of interesting when Geraldo's producer called me to be on the show the second time. I said, she could just tell when she said, "We'd like you to be on the Geraldo show," and I went, ugh. And she said, "Oh, you've worked with Geraldo before." And I said, "Yes, I have," and I did agree to be on the show the second time, and I think it would be it would take some extraordinary circumstances, I think, for me to be on that show the third time. He is the only person during this rescue. I'll tell you a little story that it's one of the stories that we have in our book, the book that my wife and I wrote about the rescue called Miracle at Dormel Farms. The only person that was disrespectful during the rescue was Geraldo and his brother Craig. And he's the only person that I came very close to having removed from the property in handcuffs. And what happened was the governor had asked all the press to be 2 miles away, 2 miles south of us, in an old abandoned Giant Eagle building. And so that's where all the press was. The family members were 2 miles north of us in the old Sipesville Fire Hall, and that kept them safely out of the press and the media's pawing eyes. So Geraldo first actually paid a woman to pose as a family member and snuck her into, with a live wire, snuck her into the fire hall posing as a family member, which I think is despicable.